the country. It's one of the issues that has come up recently. They attempted going on a protest on the streets of Accra. They were prevented from doing so by security agencies. Where does that sit with you as a security analyst, especially given the fact that the protest was not allowed to take place? But again, also the issues that they complained about, key among them being the rate of unemployment, which on several occasions you have said is also a security threat.
Abdul, His Excellency the President is a Democrat. If he went, he wouldn't have spent the prime of his youth calling for freedom of expression, calling for democracy and all that. But we are living in an era of COVID, Abdul. We are not in normal times. There are limits to how many people you can bring together. And in a demonstration, no matter how peaceful it is, it could be a peaceful procession. At the height of the crisis in the US, in the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd, erstwhile demonstrations that would have been peaceful processions turned into looting sprees. People were breaking into convenience stores and then cutting away things and all that. And so when young people especially act in a group, they think as a group. And so it will take only one extreme voice. Oh, let's change the route of the demonstration. You remember some years ago, people from Agbogboloshi went as close as to a sensitive place as Parliament House.
Yes.
We're only lucky the parliamentarians were not in a session. Only God knows what would have happened. So when we youth act in a group, we think in a group, and the state can't take chances. So it is important that we uphold COVID protocols. I think there are very nice ways of reaching out to His Excellency the President and reaching out to his ministers, reaching out to government. There are media outlets. You can have a roundtable discussion on youth development, youth empowerment. You can do petitions. You don't need to create an Arab Spring kind of idea. And after the demonstrations, what happens? People think when you put government back against the wall, it means you are doing well. Go to the offices, Abdul, and see. People are on their feet, appointees and the staff working around them. They are on their feet serving us. We should be appreciative. Of course, there are bad nuts there who are there to enrich themselves and feed large on the poor taxpayer.
What should the hundreds of thousands of unemployed graduates be grateful for? What should the driver who has to change his shock absorbers every other month because he constantly drives on a bad road be grateful for, even though he pays his toll? The toll booth, right in front of the toll booth, there are potholes there. What should he be grateful for?
Abdul, jobs don't go to people. People gravitate towards jobs. If you want to sit in your room and get employed, and Abdul, some, not all, some of the people who are loud, criticizing government and all that, when you even ask them what use they have put their skills to, young people look down upon jobs, Abdul. Jobs people do in Europe, they don't want to do in Ghana. Someone will say, I'm a graduate. If someone finds me doing this, I'll feel abashed. And the same jobs we look down upon, they are the jobs people do. There's a man, Kokofu, Honorable Kokofu. Somewhere, somehow, over the weekend, I chanced upon an interview of his. He is a royal, and then he's a very intelligent man. He's the head of EPA. In the course of the interview, at some point he traveled to Europe, and he was asked by the interviewer, what jobs did you do? And he said, as a royal, at some point he was doing dishes. You understand? We've been to the first world, so to speak. The difference between us and them is that they teach their youth to be on their feet. Abdul, many of us entered the job market maybe after your first degree, some even after their masters. But no matter how wealthy a family in the US is, maybe a middle-income family, as soon as you reach high school, Abdul, you go to school in the morning and you work as a waiter in the evening. You are teaching the youth industry. You are teaching them hard work. On the flip side, what do we teach our own youth? Oh, don't work. And then television stations are so happy to sell airtime, and NCA and NMC are sitting comfortably, licensing these people to be showing this. There are shortcuts to riches. You don't have to work. You don't have to toil and sweat. We can't be like them. So we can't heap the blame of unemployment entirely on the state. It's a wrong premise to begin with. Haven't you employed people and they've come to work 2-3 times and never showed up again? Some people are just lazy. I'm not saying the multitudes who are calling for better job opportunities or employment are lazy, but some people just don't want to work. They don't want to wake up early in the morning and go out to work. But some look down upon jobs.
And we're wrapping up now. How about those who genuinely want to work, but the opportunities for work, spaces and vacancies are just not available? Government is not providing enough.
What should government do, Abdul?
I don't know. That's why you are here.
Kick Abdul out of GBC. So somebody who is just coming out of AUCC or GIG comes to sit here.
Make GBC bigger so it can contain Abdul and still have space for 2 or 3 other people.
How bigger do you want GBC to be? And I've crisscrossed this country. I know the efforts GBC is doing, employing people in the BA area, as far as Ura Radio and others
in far away Upper West region.
They are doing a great job. What more do you want the state to do, Abdul? What more? I think
have we arrived?
The support system is
have
there.
We arrived? Are we there yet? You're asking what more do we have to do? How does the state have to do? Are we there?
No, Abdul.
Is this the ideal situation?
Abdul, there is no country in the world that will say its unemployment rate is zilch, is 0. No. People file all the time. They say they are unemployed. Private sector can, beef up the efforts of government.
See, but the difference is that
when people even wake up in the morning and the air doesn't blow in the direction they want, they blame Abang. What have you done to make sure it blows? You see, providence is like rainwater, Abdul. Providence is like rainwater. Those who fit their buckets get some of the water. You can't be sleeping in your room and say, oh God, the rain should come 7 times in a week. The one time it comes, make the best out of it. Offices are open. GBC doesn't tell you we don't accept application, but you have to be extra to get employed. Why do you go to the university and study everything, something everybody studies? Look at the number of graduates we churn out every year. And Abdul, this very studio has been witness to things we started doing when we didn't even have a first degree.
That's true.
We saw excelled people were questioning. We were too young to be doing what we were doing. It took man-hours, hours of reading, doing something that would set you apart from the pack. But you can't say, I did archaeology and mathematics, jobs should come looking for me, and it is Abang's responsibility. What extra thing have you done for you to be marketable, for you to be attractive, to be employed? So I think the shouts on rooftops that blame government for everything should end. I think a country needs fixing. Every nation, even the US needs fixing because it has got its own myriad problems. But you don't fix a nation through negative criticisms and finding nothing good with what your leaders are doing. That is a wrong premise to begin with.
I have absolutely, totally enjoyed this conversation, and we haven't done this in more than 3 years.
It's been a while.
So can we do this every other fortnight?
I would appreciate it, Abdul.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Ibrahim Erbad is a security analyst, and we've been speaking to him on a myriad